Nate Diaz, Tony Ferguson, guillotine choke, round 4. You guys, let's talk about I'm here with my neighbor, Tim. Tim does not do Jiu-Jitsu. He had one class. We're working on more than that. Tim was like, Rener, what happened? What went down? What was the choke that Khamzat caught on Kevin Holland? And how did Nate Diaz catch Tony Ferguson in this amazing guillotine? And the wild part is Nate caught Tony in the exact same guillotine that he caught Conor McGregor in. Now some of you said, wait a minute, he didn't catch Conor McGregor in a guillotine. Yes, he did. When Conor was getting punched up, he shot him for the desperate double leg, the same one Tony did in round 4, shot him for the desperate double leg. Conor gets caught in the amazing Nate Diaz guillotine that's as deep as they get. Conor defended the guillotine and got rear naked choked. Tony Ferguson didn't defend the guillotine, so let's show exactly what happened. So it was standing situation, double leg, after getting punched, beautiful standing boxing development. He's hitting him, he shoots in low for the double leg here, freeze. As he goes for the double leg, Nate doesn't even contest the takedown. Fully acceptance principle. He falls to the ground, but look, go to your right here, look at this. Look at the fingers peeking out right here. Nate Diaz has a very unique way of shooting the arm in deep. Not a classic guillotine, standard arm in guillotine. He wants to punch in so deep that his fingers pop up near the shoulder, so much so that he'll lock his hands together, and then he put his leg over the back. Now, when he did it with Conor was able to pass to the safe side, correctly defending, but Nate was so deep on it that Conor couldn't defend. He rolls, he fell, and then Nate went on top, and the rest is history. He gets on top, mount punch, takes the back, rear naked choke. In this case, back to the knees right here, Tim. In this case with Tony, when Nate sat down, this arm slipped full depth, he locks hands, and he learned from Conor McGregor not to let the Conor pass to the safe side, so he prevented Tony by putting his leg over the back. He had the deep positioning, and he's pushing his hands together under the chin, he's squeezing, and Tony taps out right here. We're good to go. Now you also had questions about the Darce choke, which you've never seen before.
No.
So, turtle position, this is Kevin Holland, was taken down, basically thrown around a little bit by Khamzat, and then Khamzat lands top turtle. After a takedown, he circles to the front, and he ends up here with the gable grip behind Kevin's neck. This arm is under Tim's armpit and poking out on the opposite side. Then he had the gable grip here. And while we were watching, all I said at that point, I'm like, yo, if he grabs his bicep, it's over, right, Tim? I was like, yo, if he grabs the bicep, and you're like, he didn't know what I was even talking about, but as long as he advanced from gable grip to the bicep, the Darce is possible. And that's exactly what happened. From the gable grip, he was able to tilt and throw, let's rotate a little, bro. Rotate, right there. He was able to throw Kevin down and then land in this position here with the gable grip, and then he right away advanced to his bicep, and this is the configuration. Now the reason why the choke took so long and why Kevin was able to withstand the pressure for so long is because Khamzat's arm was very deep in the Darce. And there's an interesting thing that happens here, that if I'm this deep and I lock, you're gonna feel pressure right now, Tim, but it's mostly gonna be on the back of your neck. Feel how painful that is? You feel it right here, right?
Yep.
So it's like hurting and crushing the muscles and the nerves in the back of the neck. That's not as strangulating, not as much strangulation as if you slightly modify this arm to where the elbow's a little higher. Let's rotate all the way around here, right there. So the deeper this hand is, the more neck crank it's gonna be. The shallower this hand is, the more artery pluggage we're gonna get in the front here. So Khamzat went so deep because it's more secure that way, but it also is more neck cranky than it is choky. So in this situation, instead of being deep right here, one way you can get the tap faster, anyone who's catching Darce chokes, is instead of going super deep and grabbing your bicep, which is more neck crank, what you do, let's rotate back. What you do is you come a little shallower and you grab your forearm right here instead. So now instead of being deep in bicep, my hand is lower and my elbow is higher, cutting across Tim's arteries. And now with this shallow Darce on my forearm, I'm gonna put my chest here, and now watch. Look at how you're gonna feel the neck, the artery pressure. See how different that pressure was? Instead of here, you just start to feel the lights dim, like, tell them how it felt different.
Yeah, I mean, here was just, like a squeeze on the neck, and the other one was...
You were going out,
yeah,
right? And that's what Kevin felt. That's why I was like, it was going for a long time. Kevin was flipping and turning and flipping and turning. Khamzat just stayed on it really nicely. He didn't let go and readjust one time. And so it was a lot of neck crank early on in that squeeze right there, which is why it took more than the conventional 6 to 10 seconds, because there wasn't full and complete artery pressure. So I would say to shallow that Darce a little bit, lock it in. And again, it's so annoying and it's so painful. You even saw when Kevin got up, he was like this, like, he was doing this motion. Why was he doing that? Not because his shoulder was hurt, because his neck was so impinged by the depth and the squeezing pressure that Khamzat has, as the beast that he is. He got it, he was just wrenching it. So you'll still tap to it, but a lot of times the squeeze, the artery pluggage doesn't come on as quickly and as effectively as if you adjust that blade from here, elbow low, hand high. You want elbow high, hand low, and now this is gonna plug the front of the artery, but that requires sometimes letting go of the bicep and changing your configuration to your forearm and then locking it up. And then to solidify the control, one more time right there, we want to grab the leg. Let's rotate here. You can lay on your side. Yep. So we're here in position. You can lay down. Yeah, like this. So once we're in position here and I lock this deep or shallow darce, going on your toes, walking over, mounting their leg and catching this top leg. Now that I've triangled that top leg, it really limits Tim's escape option, and you'll feel me lay my chest in right here, and it's just a very gradual squeeze. 6 to 10 seconds they went unconscious. So those of you guys who are learning darce chokes, anybody who's early in their darce journey, if you want more choke, less crank, shallow it up a little bit, get that elbow a little higher. If you get deep and you get there, you might still get the tap, and especially in the drilling in the gym where they're like, oh, that hurts. But as we saw here with Kevin, he survived it. He survived, he even escaped the first go, and then he got caught again. And then Khamzat was kept a little tighter, a little deeper, a little more persistent, and was able to seal the deal. So congratulations to Nate Diaz on an amazing UFC career, yet another amazing guillotine, and I just thought that was unique, how exactly the same Conor McGregor catch that caused Conor McGregor to shoot, which was the boxing, caused him to flop, which was the guillotine, but in this case, we didn't get the flop. Tony shot in, got guillotine, the guard closed it up, the leg was over the back, it was good to go. Awesome, you guys. More jiu-jitsu. You got this class tonight, Saturday night. Thanks for the help. Thanks for having me over for the fights. And the rest of you guys, you know what to do. Go to gracieuniversity.com. Find a certified training center. Learn jiu-jitsu. Mark Zuckerberg, did you hear about this?
Yep.
Mark is in 100% jiu-jitsu. He was pissed. He was mad at his mom for making him do other sports in high school and not do jiu-jitsu. You feel me? Like, where was he said, I think his quote was, this is the best sport. And his thought was, where has this been all my life? You guys, this is Mark Zuckerberg. Has all the resources in the world and then some, and is mad that jiu-jitsu was not brought into his life soon enough. So some of you now hopefully forgive the energy, the years of energy, trying to get guys like this, guys like Steve, guys like Rick, trying to convince them. Lawrence is over there, didn't even come tonight, trying to get the guys like jiu-jitsu. It's simple, life is better. And what's wild is the people who fall in love with jiu-jitsu, here's what they realize. The principles, the effectiveness, the techniques, amazing. But the true addiction comes when you realize that the principles of jiu-jitsu are more applicable in everyday life, personal and business success, than they are even on the mat or in a fight. Once you understand that connection, that's where the life addiction happens, and I think Mark got the bug. So, what are you guys waiting for? GracieUniversity.com, find a certified training center near you. If it's not the best experience of your life learning jiu-jitsu, then your money back. First 10-day free trial if you tell them I sent you. And everybody else, if you don't have a school near you, 30 free lessons already unlocked online. So you can watch the lessons and learn jiu-jitsu from anywhere in the world. If you love what you see, you buy more. If you don't love what you see, it doesn't matter. It was free anyways. I just hooked you up. GracieUniversity.com. Go get it.